So in this video of drawing and breaking down poses, I chose to do Spider-Man, and I got 3 different poses for Spider-Man. And for this one, I chose to use some pictures of some figures of like different poses of Spider-Man. It's kind of like you can always go off of figures as well as from real life. It doesn't really make a difference as long as you're just using it as a reference to draw and get the pose you want. I mean, all the time people are using figures and mannequins and things like that to create different poses. Then when it gets to the point of drawing from real life, you just look in the mirror and look at yourself or different pictures to see the relationship between the arm and the shoulder and the different movements of where it goes when you're creating in those or making those final touches. Now with this one or this particular figure, the articulation is pretty accurate for drawing different poses and things like that. And I think I've seen this figure multiple times, so I know the articulation is pretty crazy. So I figured this type of pose is pretty accurate, or at least all the different poses that I've seen this figure could do. And so right now I'm just using that and going about it by trying to find all the big shapes, like the circle for the head, circle for the chest area and the waist, or kind of like the half circle. And I'm trying to find out where all the body parts are positioned and angled, and trying just to jot down and figure out where everything goes and which directions it would be. So right now I'm just going through and quickly adding in all the lines. Circle for the knee, adding in that cylinder for the leg. And there's multiple ways of going about it. You can do it in gesture also. And creating poses this way when you're making shapes is kind of a way to easily create your own poses also. I mean, you can take and draw the circle and then just start drawing the circle for the chest and the circle for the waist in different positions, and you start to kind of add these shapes as you're creating the poses. It's kind of like it's a way I'm gonna make a video also on that to show how to create your own pose, from your head by using that method. Because you're quickly doing it. You're making a lot of different warm-ups using a pencil, going about it by just drawing a circle, adding in the chest, and then adding the legs and arms, but bending them in different positions, basically creating your own poses. And I'll get into some of that. So right now I'm adding in the hand, circles for the knuckles I normally do. Like I said before, I like to add circles for the knuckles. That way it's easy for me to position and start placing in the fingers. And when I'm doing the fingers, I'm always typically just using cylinders or boxes. It all depends on the situation. If I'm doing it in more of a perspective way, I may draw boxes for fingers, and the majority of the time I like to draw cylinders for the fingers. And a lot of times I like to do a thing where I'll add tips of the fingers first, and I'm just drawing the rest of the finger from the tips like onto the palm of the hand. And I think I've made a bunch of videos before showing my method of drawing the hands, so there's a lot of videos on my channel for seeing those. But to me, drawing hands that way is an easy way for me to figure it out. That way when I'm drawing it out of my head, I'll easily know how to just draw it out quickly without having to look back at reference, because I'm making a kind of like a reference in my head for what it would look like to draw it out without looking at anything. And I'm just adding in all the dark lines. I'm trying to clean up a little bit, erasing some areas. And basically only for the video. If I was to draw Spider-Man straight out, just using this as more of a sketch, I would have just stopped at some point without adding darker lines and just go straight to the details. Because typically in this phase I would be considered this done, and I would just go straight into drawing Spider-Man, adding in his costume, his wrinkles. Just darkening up his forearm, his foot. Right, I'm erasing all the the inside areas. Kind of keep the frame from looking all over the place. Now for this pose, I got also from Pinterest, and I just start picking different poses that I felt that were pretty dynamic when drawing Spider-Man. This being one of them. And I wanted to draw him where it's kind of like his head is kind of going, kind of farther in and at a different angle. And usually where his head is now, I can draw that as a circle, or I can go and draw that as a box, like 3D box, and then kind of just work my way from there. So as you see here, you see that I just drew the circle for the chest and the circle for the waist, and I kind of just add that action line on his back, kind of like where the spine is, and I'm just adding in the bottom area to where his the bottom of his stomach is, or his back. So I'm going in, I'm adding in his foot, because once you add that chest and waist area, it's easy to just go off and start doing everything else, because that's kind of the quick way of doing it. The quick method is always doing the chest and waist first sometimes, and work my way from there. Or I can do the head first. It all depends on the position of the body, and because the position of this body is at a odd angle, I decided to go off of just doing the chest and the waist and just work my way from there. Because when you're working from this phase, it doesn't really matter how you're drawing it. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you're gonna go over it anyway with the details, the anatomy, and all that stuff. So you see right now I'm adding in the shoulder where I think it's placed. I'm just adding the arm, circle for the elbow, the forearm. You see how I'm quickly getting that down. Darkening the chest, and I'm just drawing in the head. See, the head is kind of like hidden, and I'm adding in the bottom of the chin, and kind of like the chin and neck area. And usually when I'm doing that, I'll always draw it kind of like a circle. If I wasn't, I made like a half circle, but sometimes I like to just draw the circle, or not really a circle, like an oval across, and then I just erase whatever the chest is covering, because obviously it's behind the chest, so I would erase that. But I just made like a little half or oval. See, I got his hand out. He's grabbing the webs. I'm making the bottom part of the rib cage area. That way, just you don't really have to add it, but just in a way to figure out where to add that rib cage. If I decide to, draw out the details and add the muscles and things like that, where the body is rotating. It's kind of like a rotational method to figure out where things will be placed when you start to add those details in there. So I'm just adding in the hand, squeezed into a fist, grabbing one of those webs, drawing that in. Same method, drawing the web out. Not really detailing the web, since it's just a real rough sketch. Same thing with the other hand. His hand is closed out, or closed up. Locking the fist, adding the palm, darkening that up. Going through and darkening all the different areas. Stretching out the other web on the bottom. I know a lot of times with those webs, like to have the webs, it's kind of, you're kind of making like a little swivel of spaghetti like in there. I mean, if you're detailing webs, then hey, I've seen a lot of different issues and comic books where the webs are just straight line, little swirly spaghetti lines going across it, and that's it. And then you have other artists, like Todd McFarlane, who will just detail the mess out of it. He'll spend hours just detailing just the webs after he spent hours creating the image of the character. That's kind of like the best way to go. It's interesting seeing different webbings for what Spider-Man creates when he's doing his scenes, and it's always different to see what each artist does with their different styles, because each artist draw webs in their own different styles. Some more detailed, some not. And so for this one, I chose, he has his body leaning forward, the same as the other one. But with this one, he's leaning forward, I say more forward, like he's jumping in the frame or out of the frame, however way you look at it. And with this, the same as the other one, I start out with the body first. So I'm drawing in the circle or oval for the body, and then the circle for the waist. You see how I just draw those two out, and I'm just drawing the line through. And it's kind of like the method used for doing that. Now with this, I know that his body is leaned more further forward, but like always, this is a rough sketch, so the details of the drawing will always be different than the rough sketch. Rough sketch is just something to just go off of, kind of like a training wheel for when you start to go into and add details to your drawing and create your own whatever character you're making. So right now I just went with where the chest was, I went along with it, just let it go as it is. I'll make changes later on when I decide to draw them out. But so right now I'm just going in, adding his leg, adding his foot going out. That's one thing I like about these figures is the articulation is easy to just create a lot of close to realistic poses. And I mean, there's multiple figures I use. I use reference like this. I have a bunch of figures that I use also. Like I have my this figure called Sticky Bones. I can use that. It's a good figure for creating different poses and positions. And also, you like to use my other figures also for creating different poses and things like that. And I'll have the figures and I'll place in different positions and I'll pose them. I also have different 3D software I like to use for posing figures. I'll have that also, so you can get real good angles and things like that. It's always the best way to do this is by finding out what works for you, what's easy for you to draw in poses. And whether it's using 3D software or using action figures or reference on the computer, you have all these different things at your disposal for using to create poses. So especially in this era, I guess not like back in like the early 90s where all you had was just books. Like now your resources, you have the computer, you have like anything you can get your hands on now that was harder back then to create poses. So technically there's no excuse to not be able to draw accurate poses. And you don't even have to be accurate. Just make it as dynamic as you can, and the accuracy and anatomically correct poses will come later. It all comes based on your knowledge. Learn poses first, and then later on go back, get going through some anatomy books, and start studying different chest areas, how the muscles work, how the shoulder relates to the chest, when you raise your arm, things like that. And once you have all that down packed and add that into your poses for creating poses for your own figures, then it will all start to come together. It just takes a lot of practice, a lot of time. And if you don't have it, I don't know what I can say, but that's what you have to have in order to get the results that you want. So right now I'm going in and finish this these shapes up. Darken all lines. That's it for this video. Want to see more videos like this? Hit the like button, subscribe, comment for anything else you want to see. Take care.